Good morning. Good morning. My name is Allison Barnett, and I'm welcoming you to Season 4, Episode 3 of Mindful Meditations on Art Jewelry. I'm coming to you live this morning from the studio of Claire Kahn here in northern New Mexico. It's a beautiful day, and Claire is here with me.
Hello.
Hi. We thought it would be symbolic if we came to you live this morning from Claire's home and studio, because I'm going to turn the camera. I've come to you live here once before, but today we're going to talk about this is the view, the magnificent view from Claire's studio. But today we're talking about a series that Claire, a mini-series of about 5 or more pieces inspired by Ukraine and the colors of the Ukrainian flag. And I'm going to let Claire talk about these beautiful pieces and her love for pattern and color and how it relates to Ukrainian eggs and the colors and the symbolism. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the camera onto the table and let Claire talk about this beautiful collection. So let's turn this now, and thank you for joining us. Hold on. Okay, Claire, hi.
Hello.
Hello. So we're going to talk about the pieces on the table in front of us this morning, and these beautiful eggs as well. So Claire, where would you like to start?
Well, I'll just go in order of when I made them.
So tell us about the flag and what inspired you to make these pieces.
The flag's very simple, and I love the simpler, stronger flags, national flags. The national flag of Ukraine is simply blue on the top, divided horizontally right through the middle with yellow on the bottom. And the yellow represents golden wheat fields, wheat being the most important commodity and crop in Ukraine.
Yes.
They supply about 30% of the world's wheat, and they're called the breadbasket of the world. And then on top, of course, is the sky, and the big blue skies that they have there. So using those two basic colors, along with other kinds of pattern, that's what built the series.
Okay. And, fitting, again, to be out here to see your beautiful blue sky, and it almost, has the feeling of the wheat, like the flag, cut horizontally right in half.
Yes.
So let's start. This was the first piece here on the table.
The first piece I wanted really to try to emulate wheat, which, of course, in this medium and process, you can't make it perfect, but that's kind of the fun of it. It's an interpretation of wheat done in an abstract sense using these beads in the bead crochet, and I transition in this case from yellow to blue.
But then there's some orange and white.
They're different yellows together.
Different hues.
Different values and hues of yellow, and the same with the blue, lights and darks, some gray. So this one isn't just blue and yellow, but it's intended to have that strong message in it of blue and yellow, and of the wheat and the sky.
This is a pattern that I haven't seen you create before.
I haven't ever created this pattern, and I'm actually think I'll just call it wheat pattern.
Oh, I love it.
Because the first one was done inspired by the wheat fields of Ukraine.
And when it's doubled around your neck, it
then
looks like you get to see both.
You get both, and you can actually wear it so that the blue is above the yellow when you wear it, if you see at the bottom of the piece.
Yeah.
And that helps to, express the flag idea.
Absolutely, the sky and the wheat.
And it makes a nice bracelet.
I bet it makes a great bracelet. So many can wrap these 5 or 6 times around their wrist, and it can be more heavily weighted on one side with the yellow or blue, or it can be mixed together. And boy, that's a beautiful piece. So this was the first one.
This was the first.
And this came about because we're doing a series in the gallery this summer at Patina Gallery here in Santa Fe called Season of Blue. So we were discussing that and getting excited about it. And then somehow I know that in the past you've enjoyed putting yellow and blue together because they're
close to opposite.
Close to opposites.
And yellow, blue, and orange are opposite, but yellow and blue are pretty complementary as well.
Yes.
And I really enjoy playing with opposites together, especially when the units are so small, these little beads. Sometimes you can actually get the eye to mix the color.
It blends.
And it blends very nicely.
So this was the first one. So we were talking about blue, and then suddenly we're talking about yellow and blue, and I said, oh my gosh, Ukraine. And I know that you're donating a percentage of any profits from the sale of these to Ukraine and to humanitarian efforts.
Yes.
Wonderful. So what was the second piece that was inspired by this?
The second piece has one 18-karat gold band to hold two necklaces together. You wear them together, and it also, the yellow one is a little bit bigger than the blue, so that when you wear it, the blue sits above the yellow on your neck, and you get the flag. And I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible, because the simpler, the stronger the message, I think.
Absolutely.
The less complicated.
They're poetic, really.
So that's a necklace by itself. And you can wear this too nicely, I think, as a bracelet with the one little gold band on there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But this is a shorter piece. It's 24 inches as a necklace.
Right.
Although you could wear it long and have the blue section around your neck or the yellow section and then the other piece falling. Just beautiful. I love the symbolism of having that single gold, sort of this, this unity of the two colors together.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. Really beautiful.
And to sort of go with that, I did a couple of bracelets. So this bracelet is blue. One bracelet is blue and one bracelet is yellow. And it's kind of an infinity idea, an interlocking thing that then you just wear as a bracelet like that. So it's very pure. There are a few different yellows. I want to create a kind of richness, so it's not just solid, but but definitely one yellow, one blue, and the flag has very distinct, actually Pantone colors you can match to the blue and yellow of the flag, which of course I couldn't quite do because of I work with beads that are already made, manufactured. But by mixing them, you can come pretty close.
Yeah, your eye really starts to blend those colors together. But I love the interlocking, that these are forever linked.
Yes. And then there's another bracelet.
Beautiful. Oh.
This I call a weaver's knot.
So poetic.
It's a square knot. And what you have is yellow and blue that meet in the back. And you can adjust it so that it lines up.
Look at that.
With a point.
With the point. And it's like two hands holding.
Yeah.
And again, forever entwined, the blue and the yellow.
That's a bracelet.
So
and again,
beautiful.
there are two different yellows and two different blues.
Let's see if I can zoom in and show that.
So it's not just straight one color.
So with these micro mosaic beads, they're so tiny, but there's such a variety of color in there. That is just gorgeous. Please send your emojis if you like what you're seeing and let us know and comment. And then what was the next piece?
And then I did a piece inspired by the traditional Ukrainian...
Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, so here's the piece. And here are some eggs on the table that you've collected.
This is inspired by the traditional decorated, dyed Ukrainian Easter eggs, which are so amazing.
Look at that. So often this diamond pattern is visible on these eggs, and that's what it's like a harlequin or a diamond pattern.
Yeah,
that you're presenting.
Traditional pattern, but I'm doing it in the necklace. Of course, I'm doing it in blues and yellows.
Okay, let's zoom in a little bit to see this pattern that you've got here. So the background field is mostly blue, and then the diamonds are...
and the diamonds are yellow.
The diamonds are yellow.
With little blue centers, and there's a little bit of white in there also. And it's just it's a more kind of traditional looking pattern with its diamonds and crosses, and that's just it's an interpretation inspired by Ukrainian eggs.
Yeah.
Which are so intricately dyed with these beautiful patterns.
I mean, these in and of themselves could draw such inspiration, but really holding to these particular colors of blue and yellow for this particular small series. As we lead up to our season of blue.
The colors of Ukrainian eggs end up kind of in this world because of the process of dyeing them. They use a wax resist dye, very fine tool to paint wax, and then they dye it. So if your first color you're dyeing is yellow, then the next color you dye has to be a little darker than yellow. It's a little hard to explain, but you end up with these slightly muted colors in the eggs: reds, blacks, yellows, whites.
Isn't that gorgeous? So if we turn to this piece that you made, let me just sort of hold it with a little bit more detail. There we go. So we can see the field of blue with the yellow and the white. Oh, Claire, that's so beautiful. I know it's a challenge to make some of these patterns.
Yeah.
And you know, a cord that's half of an inch wide, and to be that expressive with these alternating diamonds is really so rich and beautiful. And you can see the effect of it when it's wrapped around the wrist. This is 4 times. We could do 5 or 6 times around to see that pattern coming out. So in getting ready for our next series, which is the Season of Blue, there are a few more pieces on the table that could be included in this series, but they will be for our next exhibition in the gallery. But this one is from your pattern called Ali.
Yes, I do this pattern called Ali, and it's named for you, Allison.
That's very sweet. Thank you, Claire.
Because you enjoy this pattern.
I love it.
And in this case, you can see here a blue background with a progression of yellow from very light to dark.
Yeah.
And the same thing then, there's a sort of yellow mustard background with a light progression from white to dark blue.
And one takes over from the other.
And one takes over from the other and then starts over again. And that just repeats throughout the piece.
So beautiful. And you've transitioned, you've got several different sections of color.
And that, when you make this into a bracelet, you end up stacking those. You can see there's kind of a yellow side.
So sequentially you've
and a blue
designed
side.
it so that, so wrapping it that many times, it really divides up those colors.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is still a great and fitting piece to be incled
in the Ukraine.
All of these, well, the first 5 pieces, I should say, have been put onto the website this morning at 10 a.m. And are available, although the one in your hand is not yet in our gallery inventory. Fresh, right off of Claire's table, where she's crocheting these beautiful pieces. And what do you have there? Two
bracelet that's in the same pattern. Just a fun double bracelet.
So this one's a double. It's not interlocking, but it's a long length of maybe 15, 16 inches where you've put a cross in it.
Right. And then this one is the same with slightly different colors. It gets a little greener. But I've added here 2 of these beautiful beads made by a man named David Freeland, who does beautiful inlaid work into silver. So that's
these are specially made for you.
Yeah, these are specially made for me to work on these cords or ropes. They pretty well stay put, but they'll slide around, so you can kind of put them wherever you want them.
Yeah.
This one is silver with an inlay of turquoise. And this one is silver with turquoise, spiny oyster shell, and onyx.
I love the play of color with those pieces. That's so beautiful. And of course, those together, paired, those 2 bracelets would be stunning together.
And these are intended to be kind of summery. We are right on at just about at June. And
yes.
And so they're bright and colorful and cheerful. And
so cheerful.
Really good.
I know in the summer you love to bring more abundant color to
more
your pieces
more saturated.
as we come into spring and summer.
And then this one is a chevron pattern bracelet, and it's a little more subtle, but it switches from this kind of yellow and light to dark blue to blue and light to dark yellow. I know it's not that clear, but
there, when you move it, there's an ever-present line and a distinction of color, and sometimes you see it more than others.
You can see it's very different here than it is here.
Your transitions are so beautiful, and so they really, I can see where the blue, if I can get my finger in there, the blue ends here, but then it starts on the next
Yeah,
strand
exactly.
on the bottom.
Right, so it's evenly divided so that they break in the same place.
Yeah,
See,
there's this subtle nuance, but this the way that you craft these and think about pattern and think about design, it all matters how these patterns line up and come together. They're poetic. They really are. How show us how the Ali would look with, say, one.
Oh, well, that'd look terrific.
Okay, let me maybe zoom out here and
that would really be great.
yeah, these two.
I mean, so this is the wheat pattern with the Ali.
Oh, just gorgeous. Look at these vibrant colors.
Or you could do, well, there's so many ways you
they
could
could all
it.
be worn together.
You could have the Ali pattern or the wheat pattern with this blue gold guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be really handsome.
So rich.
And makes a strong statement. And,
that's so rich.
You know, if anybody is really familiar, as so many people are now, about Ukraine and the flag and the color, when you wear this, it's pretty clear, I think, the point that you're making about it.
Yes, absolutely.
You know.
People lighting, the colors and hanging their flags in solidarity.
And, with these new pieces that aren't at the gallery yet, while they kind of belong to this new blue group that you're doing at the gallery, the donation would also, because of these being so much about Ukraine, I would also donate.
Oh, that's so fantastic.
There.
So for any of you who are new to Patina Gallery, we have a beautiful website, patina-gallery.com. And Claire is exclusive to the gallery. There's a page dedicated just to Claire, and these are on her page and on our new arrivals page. And you can see, again, the first 5 pieces that we spoke about today on the website, and then these remaining, let's see if it balances there. And then the remaining other pieces that she made will be forthcoming, available, but forthcoming on the website. But you can always contact myself or Angela in the gallery. Our phone number is 505-986-3432, and we look forward to speaking with you. And I want to thank everyone. I'm just going to, again, show you the beautiful view, and you can see the significance of having, if you can see the colors, you can't, as we focus in on the front, the view there. But I want to thank everyone who joined us this morning. I know it was a shorter video, but we really wanted to show you how exquisite and how beautiful these new Ukrainian-inspired pieces are from Claire as we enter into the summer season and our season of blue. So please stay tuned to the season of blue and to new pieces coming out of Claire's studio with gemstones, Claire, blue gemstones. There's going to be blue opal and topaz, and sapphire, all part of our season of blue. But in the meantime, this very beautiful collection, again, I'll just bring you right back to the table so you can see the very beautiful collection of yellows and blues. And again, contact any of us at the gallery. Yes, we're making a donation or Claire is making a donation to UNICEF, and it is so important and so cool. So thank you all for tuning in this morning. Really appreciate all of our fans out there, and we will see you again soon. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.